Hey, how's it going? Well, today we're gonna talk about interfaces and how they're efficient when coding. You use an interface, for example, when you're talking about doing an average for two classes. I have country and I have bank account. They're both gonna compute an average of a bank account and the size of a country, let's say. And it's the same thing. And you waste time trying to make average in every class that you could just make an interface and call it just once, which will be way more efficient, way quicker. That means you could just call it once in every class that you make. So let's say we have 5 more other classes, you just call it once instead of defining an average again in all those other 5 other classes. Here I'm showing an interface. In my class average is where I have the mathematical logic to it. You see right here that I'm doing the return sum, which is going to return sum divided by country's length. Country's length is the amount of countries there is. Sum is the sum. So if you think about it, that's what an average is the amount of something divided by how many there is of that thing. And we're talking about here about countries. And this is bank account, which is the exact same thing. The only difference is it's going to return account down length. The only difference is that it's in a bank account. So it's the same exact average in both things. So here we go to our country class. We define the parameters and whatnot. It's saying that country is going to have a name, the name of the country, and a size. The size is going to be the area, and an area is going to be average. In bank account, it's the same thing. We're going to have a name and a balance, the name of the account and the balance, how much it is. And the balance is going to be the average, which we defined over here, the mathematical logic to it in each of the account. In tester, we define an array, which is a group of objects. Let's say, like, for example, we're talking about country. So in country 0, that means the first space, the first country, it's Spain, and it has this amount of things. The second country is United States. It has this amount of population, let's say. We're talking about population. So we're going to do what average set it does for country, which is going to, the country length is greater than 0, there was 3. We're going to return the sum, which is the addition of all those numbers divided by 3. And the same thing for bank account. Bank account 0, Richard, Harry, Peter. We're going to add them up, and we're going to return the sum, which is divided by 3, because there's 3 bank accounts, and here there's 3 countries. And if you see the answers right here, you can calculate it yourself. But just a quick one, the bank account is 1,500 divided by 3. That returns 500. Also, I have here a diagram which talks about, in case you didn't know, I was using implements in my code in every class. So to make it, so you guys understand more, it goes from the interface to my average. Average is where we do the mathematical logic. From there, it comes down to these two things, because in the average we did the mathematical portion for bank account and country. And country, we wrote the name and the size, and that's it. For bank account, we wrote the name and the balance. And in the tester, we wrote what the countries were and their parameters and what bank account was. So if you think about it, everything, all these arrows are connected. They're all coming from here. And the main one is this right here. This is one that has the math part. It's going to go from here to here and so forth.